Welcome to the Dawn of Prophecy update this March 4th, 2015. Marching forth. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war. For surely the war is growing hot. But guess what? The war is a great war of love. Keep on loving. Because today's breaking news is yesteryear's Bible prophecies, and I can help to prove it. We get to live it, you and I. We live in the last seconds of the last days. Be awake and aware. Be prepared, not scared. Today's top prophetic headline has to do with yesterday's speech by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who warned the United States and the world that arming Iran with nuclear weapons would be of utmost severe threat and danger to our livelihood. Today, Iran announced that our nuclear negotiations with them between the United States and Iran failed and were unacceptable. Awesome! Go King Bibi! By the way, I highly recommend that you watch the speech in its entirety. It only takes 40 minutes, but it will spark your spirit and stoke your faith. It's available online at either Google it or YouTube, and it's there in entirety. It is one of history's most epic speeches, and it is almost on the level on the same level of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. Perhaps it's just on the level of Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, or even Churchill's never, never, never give up. You gotta watch it and let it stoke your spirit. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke with tremendous skill, thundering truth, and humble grace, things that none of our leaders, well, I speak specifically about our president, does not speak with these things. He and his administration, who chose to boycott the speech, this all too important speech on the world's safety. Friend, be warned. 2 Thessalonians 2 warns that a man of lawlessness will come onto the world scene in the last seconds of the last days and will take over the leadership of the world. I am not saying that President Obama is that man of lawlessness. However, I do believe there will be a culture of lawlessness, and Matthew 24 also warns that sin will run rampant in those last days. And because of this culture, that's how such a lawless man will rise to leadership in the world, because it's already so prevalent in our society, so pervasive in our culture, that it's acceptable for the leader to act with such lawlessness. President Obama is engaging in lawlessness in the highest office, as evidenced by Obamacare, by the illegal immigration executive actions, and not even calling radical Islam for what it is. That alone is very deceptive. President Obama refuses to even admit that the first I in ISIS stands for Islamic, saying that ISIS is not Islamic. It is the very first part of their name, sir. Google it. Friend, do not be deceived. President Obama and his administration continue to perpetuate a sham upon the American people, and the media is helping to sell this spin doctor lie. Do not be deceived. Now, what can you and I do? Simple. Here's the action plan. Number 1, stay sharp in the truth, and make sure you word up and warrior up. If you don't know the truth of God, how will you know when somebody is lying to you? You can only know a counterfeit when you know the real thing. And there's no such thing as a counterfeit $3 bill, because there's no real $3 bill. Go back to the real truth of God, the Bible, and stay strong in the spirit of truth that is the living God. Number 2, after you stay sharp in truth, is number 2, then do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil by doing good. Take positive action. And that leads me straight to number 3. Do something small and positive. Take one small step to winning the war, and it is a war of great love. Tell someone you love them today. Make sure they know. Text them, call them, email, Facebook, visit, do whatever it takes that that person will know for a God-given fact that you do love them. It may seem like something so small, but it might make all the difference in a world that surely needs the difference. a God-sized difference. I just read a story about a young girl who found out last couple of weeks that there were 2 suicides in her high school in the same week, and she chose to wake up very early and make a bunch of, I guess, paper red hearts and go to school before anyone arrived and insert it into each and every locker so that every high school student in that school would know that they were loved. Find a way to express your love today, that we can increase the spirit of love in our world that is growing cold in love, as Matthew 24 predicts. I leave you with salt on the tongue. The spiritual battle is growing hot. We must pray hotter, and we must love harder. Go, Team God. Aloha.